You wake up at 5 a.m., grind through back-to-back meetings, skip lunch to finish a project, and work late into the night. But when you look back at the end of the week, you've barely moved the needle. Sound familiar? Here's the hard truth. You're not alone. Most high achievers are stuck in this endless cycle of busyness, mistaking motion for progress. But what if I told you there's a way to 10x your output without working a single extra hour? This isn't about productivity hacks or quick fixes. This is about a fundamental shift in how you think, work, and live. By the end of this video, you'll have a step-by-step blueprint to achieve more in 4 hours than most people do in 40. But before we dive in, let me ask you this. What if the secret to 10xing your output isn't about doing more, but about doing less? Stick around, because this will change everything. Let's start with a question. What's the one thing you could do today that would make everything else easier, or even unnecessary? Think about it, because here's the reality. Most of us are drowning in tasks, but only a handful of them actually matter. The rest, they're just noise. The problem isn't that we're not working hard enough. It's that we're not working smart enough. We've been conditioned to believe that success requires sacrifice, that the more hours we put in, the more results we'll get. But here's the truth. Time is finite. You can't create more of it. And yet we keep trying to squeeze more and more into our days, only to end up exhausted, frustrated, and no closer to our goals. But what if there's a better way? A way to achieve 10 times the results, not by working longer, but by working smarter. This isn't about hacks or shortcuts. It's about understanding the science of productivity, the psychology of focus, and the art of leverage. And by the end of this video, you'll have a step-by-step blueprint to transform how you work. But before we dive in, let me ask you this. What's the one thing you're doing right now that's holding you back from achieving your full potential? Think about it. We'll come back to that. Let's talk about leverage. In physics, leverage is about using a small force to create a massive impact. Think of a crowbar prying open a locked door. The same principle applies to your work. The key to 10xing your output isn't doing more. It's doing the right things. Here's the first insight, the Pareto principle, or the 80-20 rule. It states that 80% of your results come from just 20% of your efforts. But here's the kicker. Most people spend their time on the 80% that barely moves the needle. So the question is, what's your 20%? What are the tasks that create the most impact in your work or business? Let me give you an example. Imagine you're a writer. You could spend hours tweaking the font on your blog, or you could spend that time writing a single piece of content that goes viral. One task is busy work, the other is leverage. The difference is staggering. But here's where it gets interesting. Most people don't even know what their 20% is. They're so caught up in the day-to-day grind that they never stop to ask, is this actually moving me closer to my goals? And that's the first step to 10xing your output, identifying your high-leverage tasks and ruthlessly prioritizing them. Now let's talk about energy. Time is finite, but energy is renewable. And yet most of us treat our energy like it's an afterthought. We work until we're drained, then wonder why we're not getting results. Here's the truth. Your energy levels are the single biggest predictor of your productivity. If you're tired, distracted, or stressed, no amount of time will help you. But if you're focused, energized, and in flow, you can accomplish in 2 hours what most people do in 8. So how do you maximize your energy? First, identify your peak performance hours. For most people, this is in the morning. Use those hours for your most important work. Save the low-energy tasks like emails and meetings for later. Second, take breaks. Studies show that the human brain can only focus for about 90 minutes before it needs a reset. So work in sprints, 90 minutes of deep focus, followed by a 15 to 20-minute break. This isn't just a suggestion, it's science. Now let's address the elephant in the room. Multitasking, it's a myth. Research shows that switching between tasks can reduce your productivity by up to 40%. When you multitask, you're not actually doing 2 things at once. You're just switching your attention back and forth, which drains your energy and kills your focus. Instead, practice deep work, uninterrupted, concentrated effort on a single task. Set a timer for 90 minutes, eliminate distractions, and go all in. You'll be amazed at how much you can accomplish. Here's the final piece of the puzzle, Systems. Most people rely on willpower to get things done. But willpower is finite. It's like a muscle. It gets tired. The solution? Build systems that make productivity automatic. For example, if you want to write more, set a daily word count goal and track your progress. If you want to exercise more, lay out your workout clothes the night before. Systems remove the need for decision-making, which conserves your energy and keeps you on track. All right, let's make this practical. Here's your 3-step plan to 10 times your output. Identify your high-leverage tasks. Every evening, write down the 1 to 2 tasks that will have the biggest impact on your goals. Do these first thing in the morning. Protect your peak hours. Block off 2 to 3 hours of uninterrupted time for deep work. Turn off notifications, close your email, and focus. Schedule rest. After each deep work session, take a 15 to 20-minute break. Go for a walk, meditate, or just relax. This keeps your energy high for the next session. Pro tip: use time blocking to schedule your day. Assign specific blocks for deep work, meetings, and admin tasks. This creates structure and prevents distractions from derailing your progress. Remember, productivity isn't about doing more. It's about doing what matters. When you focus on high-leverage tasks, protect your energy, and eliminate distractions, you'll not only 10x your output, you'll also reclaim your time, your sanity, and your life. But here's the thing: knowledge is useless without action. So here's my challenge to you. Tomorrow, pick one high-leverage task and give it your full focus. See how much you can accomplish in just 90 minutes. Then let me know in the comments how it goes. If you found this video helpful, hit that like button, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to hear this. Until next time, work smarter, not harder. See you soon.